Hello plant friends, my name is Alonia and welcome to my tiny balcony here in suburban Western Sydney. I'm a novice orchid grower navigating the wonderful world of cool, intermediate and warm growing orchids, and I'm learning what grows here on my balcony in a subtropical climate. I do this all without equipment such as greenhouses and grow lights. It's just me, my orchids and Mother Nature out there. Speaking of Mother Nature, it is dark as I record this, so I apologise for the lighting. Today we're taking a look at my haul from not one but two exciting orchid auctions held in Sydney during April, the New South Wales Species Orchid Society Auction and the Manly Orchid Society Auction. We'll be taking a look at the 5 plants that I won over both auctions, but before we do that, it is important to note that these auctions are often not open to the public and you are required to be a financial member in order to bid on plants, although some local societies will allow a non-member to participate as long as they're a friend of a financial member. With that in mind, let's jump right on in. Okay, let's kick things off with the 3 plants I got at the New South Wales Species Orchid Society Auction. This was my opportunity to get some unusual plants in a genre that I like, but also to try some others that are not commonly found. First cab off the rank is Bifrenaria inodora cherry lime. First of all, this is a compact tropical species with glossy lime green leaves and bright yellow back bulbs. And it was described to me as the banana bunch orchid, and I can see why. The flower for this species is yellow with a cherry red centre, so right in my colourway. The name inodora means without fragrance, although there is one variety in the genus which is reported to have an overpowering scent, the Bifrenaria harrisonii. So these like bright filtered light, and here in the southern hemisphere, an east or north facing window is perfect. These are an intermediate to warm orchid, but they will tolerate down to 6 degrees. So this will grow outside for me year round as we don't freeze. And if it's cooler, then I'll take it inside. Keep these damp during the active growing period, but I was advised by the grower to provide a dry winter rest, but as much sun as I can give it. So it lives happily under cover in the brightest spot I can, and that is dry and free from frost. They like humidity, so I mist this regularly every day in summer and every couple of days in winter. So it likes a balanced fertilizer every couple of weeks during the growing season, and this is potted in medium bark with clay balls, and as good drainage is key. I will reassess this in spring to see if it needs repotting. So the second cab off the rank is this absolute delight, and this is a Coelogyne pulverula. This is a stunner that is known for its long arching spikes of creamy flowers with a bold brown marking that is both elegant and, yes, fragrant. It is found in Peninsular Malaysia, Thailand, Borneo, Java and Sumatra, in the lowland rainforests and lower montane forests, on tree trunks and major branches, often near or over streams where humidity is higher. They come from an elevation of 250 to 1900 metres and are quite sizable, so you do need some space for this. They like bright and direct light, but avoid midday sun where possible, and that's difficult on a north-facing balcony, trust me. They are cool to intermediate, but I was recommended no cooler than 12 degrees Celsius, so while it's a cool grower, I was given some advice, so it's going to be growing inside. Keep these damp during the growing period and slightly drier in winter, and I've already dialed back the watering to moderately twice a week for this. They do like high humidity, so I'm misting this every day. And as light feeders, use a very diluted fertilizer weekly during the growing period, during spring and summer, and I've already dialed this back at the end of April. It's moisture retentive fine bark in the pot, and the water well pot will help retain that moisture, and it was repotted into this about a week before the auction, so I won't need to repot this for a couple of years. If you like dramatic contrast, you'll love the Coelogyne fuliginosa, with a distribution ranging from the Himalayas, Myanmar, Sumatra and Java. It is a cool to intermediate grower from 900 to 1500 metres. I've also discovered this is a synonym for Coelogyne ovalis, and as such I learned today that I already have this in my collection, but a backup is never a bad thing. and I feel another experiment coming on. I will overwinter the new one inside and keep the existing plant outside to see if there's any difference. Now, my existing plant is currently in flower, and the creamy white petals are highlighted by a smoky dark lip that feels truly exotic. It is scented, but it's neither delightful or unpleasant, it just is. These like a dappled soft shade with no harsh or direct sun, which is unusual because this plant is living in bright morning sunshine, but it does get dappled shade from about 11 o'clock onwards. As mentioned, I will keep the new plant inside and the existing plant outside, and if it gets too cold, I'll take the existing plant inside. Now, these you water well through the warm seasons. They like water, but reduce slightly in the cooler months. Again, they like humidity, so I miss this every day or so. Same with all the other Coelogyne plants in my collection. With the blooming plant, I'm using a 10-30-20 bloom boosted fertilizer that's just from Manutech. Both of these are in the planting media in which I acquired them in, which is medium bark with perlite, and these are recommended to repot every 2 years. This one's in a water well pot, so it'll be fine for a couple of years. Now over to the Warringah Orchid Society Auction plants. The first of which is my personal favourite, Coelogyne merrillii. This is native to the Philippines, and it's a lithophytic orchid that is prized for its pendulous white flower spikes with warm golden markings. I'll drop a photo here. This one is found at elevations from 300 to 2300 metres, making it a warm to cool grower, which this one should live outside year round for me. And like the others, I'm now back to watering it moderately, and I'm misting it every day or two. It likes bright filtered light, and morning sun is fine. Because of the elevation, I'm going to try growing this one outside, but if it gets too cool, I will take this one inside. I'm pretty glad I bought that plant pole back in January. So keep this one moist during the growing period and reduce slightly in winter. Again, mist it every day, and it's on the same schedule as all of the other Coelogynes. During the growing period, balance feeding every 2 weeks. In summer, I actually dilute twice down to 1/16, and I fertilise every watering and flush during the period. This one is in straight bark by the looks of it, and it's not in a water well pot. I'll reassess in spring to see if it needs repotting. And finally is the tropical showstopper Coelogyne speciosa. And this one has a velvety green to yellowish bloom with dramatic veining on the lip. Plus, it's compact, which is perfect for smaller spaces like my balcony. It's listed as a warm grower coming from the rainforests of Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Sumatra, but is found up to elevations of 2,000 metres, and it's reported to be tolerant of the cooler temperatures. So again, I'm going to try growing this undercover outside over winter and see how it goes. If it gets too cold, I'll take it inside. They like bright and direct light, but avoid full sun. And because it is a warm grower, I will move it if necessary. Keep these moist all year round as there's no major dormancy, and I'm now watering this moderately twice a week with magnesium in the water to support the chlorophyll production. These ones like a higher humidity, so this one is being misted every day, twice. When it comes to fertilising, I've actually now dialed the fertilising right back because it's now coming into winter. This one is planted in medium bark with a bit of perlite and some stones in it. I'll reassess again in spring if it needs a water well style pot. These orchids are living works of Mother Nature's art. If you're planning to attend an orchid auction, it is best to come prepared. Know your space, know the conditions that your space has, and make sure your growing area can meet and support the needs of these very beautiful plants. I suggest that if possible, peruse the plant catalogue before going to the auction and setting a budget and sticking to it. I have seen some Papia petalum sell for upwards of $350 to $400, and this is total madness to me. I don't have that kind of cash for a single plant, no matter how much I want it. So plant friends, thanks for joining me on this Orchid Spotlight about auctions today. Whether you're just getting into orchids or you're a seasoned grower, these auctions offer something truly unusual and often difficult to obtain otherwise. To get updates on these 5 gorgeous plants as they occur, or just simply follow along on my orchid journey, please do press the subscribe button below with the notification bell turned on so you can be notified every time I upload. For my end screen crew, have you ever been to an orchid auction before? And if so, what did you find surprising about it? Please comment below, I'll be sure to read those. But for now, grow well, enjoy your plants, and we'll see you all next week. Bye for now.